Good day, good morning everyone. This is Vimal Mahendru on day 4 of COP26 coming to you from Glasgow. It is also today Diwali, the festival of lights in India, so I wish everyone a very joyous, blissful, healthy Diwali. Today is also the energy day at COP26 and almost all the booths here are having some or the other dialogue related to energy. So you can imagine it's been a bit of a hectic day for me also, trying to understand, absorb and also reflect to you the message I'm gathering here. And one of the things that is coming loud and clear over here is gaps. The gap of information, who knows what and where do they get the rest of the information. Gaps of understanding, because there are different paradigms that different stakeholder groups have, but how do we bridge those? And third, what I also see as an opportunity is gap of information on IEC and the role of international standards, what they can do to enable clean energy, affordable energy for all. Among the various sessions I attended, one of the first ones was at the SDG Pavilion, which is hosted by the UN DESA. At this session, I had the pleasure of listening to some eminent speakers, including Vida Rosetta of the World International Energy Agency. And she brought about the point of de-risking investments and that there is huge amount of investments required. On hearing this, and after the main session, there was a Q&A in which I brought about the point that one good way of resolving issues of risk of investments and de-risking them was to go with globally consensus standards, similar to those brought out by the IEC, the International Electrotechnical Commission. I talked about the fact that electricity itself is not a binary subject that you have it or you don't have it. It's about the moment you have the first access to electricity, even if it is for a small light bulb, from there going on to a second light bulb, a small television set, recharging the mobile phone through a USB socket, and not necessarily in that order, it could be something else. Eventually adding a small pedestal fan, another fan, some basic kitchen appliances in the homes, and similar needs growing in those areas in rural habitations where productive work, for example running small shops, running machines for processing agricultural produce, fisheries, etc. So a lot of applications of electricity are there, and all of them are not binary. The moment you have the first whiff of electricity, it grows further. Another session hosted today was at the Swedish Pavilion, which was titled Enabled by Energy Efficiency. And in this session, the whole dialogue was how energy efficiency and energy efficient equipment can in itself address a lot of the gap in energy and reduce the impact of fossil fuels. Great session. There were speakers from Alfa Laval, Skanska, and from ABB, which is now Hitachi Energy. And during this session, I asked a question, well, it's a great idea to have energy efficient equipment and all this, but aren't you missing the point when we don't talk about standards? And I could actually hear the coin drop. Everyone agreed unanimously that standards are the best way to make technology and energy efficiency come to the benefit of the global community. And so I think we have our work cut out in IEC to come up with more and more standards related to energy efficiency. The International Energy Agency also hosted a session today, which was a very interesting one. It was about de-risking the future and bringing disaster impact mitigation through building resilience in networks. One of the speakers there was from the Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure, and he talked about 8 different risks which are directly connected to disasters and how society is exposed to multiple risks of healthcare, breakup in supply lines for food, and assets and networks which are built over decades getting destroyed. All of this was in one way or the other connected with power systems and how power system resilience was at the heart of it. The message I bring back from that session is that we've always looked at power sector assets as permanent assets which are there for the long run. Of course they are in the long run, but we also need to make sure that these assets are not only robust but also provide the resilience required to manage electricity and electricity supply, energy supply, even when disasters happen. So building resilience into our standards is a message that I am bringing back from here.
I also want to mention the joint statement that was released yesterday by the General Secretaries of IEC, ISO and ITU, which is related to standardization work on climate change. The link is below in the text. Please take a look at that also. Thank you.
I conclude my message today with a message of hope and optimism. Today is Diwali, Day of Lights. It's a celebration of lights, not just in the traditional sense, but lights as in illumination, as in knowledge. And I hope that this Diwali ushers in an age of sharing information and knowledge amongst global communities. Wish you all very well for Diwali. I also take the message back to IEC that we have our work cut out for us. I think what I have heard today about the gaps, I think almost all of it is hinting at what the IEC and its global community of 20,000 experts can deliver to the world in terms of bringing resilience, sustainability, energy efficiency. These are terms coming straight out of IEC standards. And imagine that here all stakeholders are talking about these terms. That's where we can bring in value. I close again wishing you all Diwali. I'm personally very grateful to my own company Legrand and IEC for bringing me this opportunity to come and speak to you from here, and also for my family which supports me in this very meaningful work on Diwali day. Thank you. Bye-bye.